Hey guys, so I wanted to do kind of a mini update. Um, so I have been working really long hours, really hard, and I was kind of stressing a bit. And because I work in retail, I started getting really bad, um, just like bad cramps and a lot of pain, and I freaked out. For the first couple of days, I took Tylenol because you can take Tylenol while you're pregnant. And I don't know what it was. I just instantly felt like, oh my God, what if I'm doing something to the baby? What if I've been working so hard? I've been standing for long hours. I haven't really had any breaks. What if I've been doing this to the child? And then on top of that, I have school, so I freaked out. So my original ultrasound that I told you guys about in the last video was scheduled for Wednesday, and it just happened Saturday night. I was getting a lot of cramps, and I mean, I had to go. I went to the back at work, and I just cried because it hurt so bad, and I was just so scared. And then the next morning, they persisted, so I ended up going to triage, and I basically told him what happened, told him about my history, and I was just like, I just need to make sure if she's okay. Like, did I do something to hurt her? Am I having a miscarriage? Like, what is going on? Please tell me. Um, so they basically took me to the back, and after a long time of waiting, of course, they took me to the back and we scanned, and everything was perfect. She was measuring at the right for the right week. She had a heartbeat at that time of 113, which they said was good. 110 to 170 is good. And I felt so relieved, but that I couldn't stop shaking. I just was so scared. So yeah, she's nothing but a little blob right now. But so her heartbeat went from 113 on Sunday to 139 on Wednesday. So I don't know if like that's a big jump or if that's like unheard of or whatever. All I know is that her heart is a lot stronger within a few days, and I just could not stop crying because I just felt like I just need this to work, and I need this to I just need things to go well this time. I don't want to have anything crazy. I want this to be very uneventful. I want to spend this pregnancy feeling fat and wondering if I should eat 7 eggs or, if I should eat an entire bag of these, which I am not exactly sure if I will, but I probably will, to be honest. I just want that to be what I'm feeling. I don't want it to be, oh man, I'm bleeding this week, or oh man, this pain is so serious. I may or may not, be having a miscarriage. Oh man, did my water just break again? Like, I don't want to deal with any of that this time. This time, I just want to be happy and stupid and pregnant. I just want to be a lottie dottie little house on the prairie pregnant girl that's just like, look at my belly, look at my face, look at my glow. I just want you to see I'm pregnant. Look, everyone, just look at me. Like, that's the kind of pregnant I want. Shoot, I am so tired of the other ones. No, I was talking to some girls in the support group because I started a kind of rainbow babies for my due date. I started a little thread, I guess you would call it, and we were all talking about this and talking about how we feel about our last pregnancies, or who's had a really tough one, or who's happened to have a healthy baby at this time, stuff like that. And I was just saying that I feel so emotional because yes, pregnancy sometimes can be rough because of the nausea, because of the boob pain, the constant peeing. Yes. But I feel like I could not enjoy a pregnancy, my first pregnancy. Early on, I had SCH, and so I, was bleeding profusely from the beginning, and I never really stopped until after the loss. So I had maybe my SCH was found or whatever, probably week 7, and then we lost at 12. So I spent all of that time wondering if the baby was going to be okay. And then with the second one, my first 14 weeks of pregnancy were beautiful. I hardly had any nausea, I hardly had any symptoms. I had the glow, it was great. And then my water broke, and all of a sudden it was up in the air. Is she gonna live? Is she gonna survive? What's gonna happen? Like P-Prom is no joke. I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to make any money because I was gonna have to live in the hospital and I was gonna have to just deal with all this stressful stuff. I didn't really get a chance to say, "Hey guys, I'm pregnant. This is happy." And at the end of this pregnancy, I will have a baby. And this time, I just want that to be it. I want it to be, "Hey guys, jazz hands, I'm pregnant," and for me to bam, I have a baby. Like, I don't want it to be, this back and forth, push and pull. I don't want it to be that. And the scary thing about being pregnant after a few losses that are unexplained and there's no way to prevent them or to take any steps to really prevent a specific thing that caused them is that I can do anything. I can do everything. I can do all there is to do to protect this child and to stay as healthy as possible. And something still might happen. And that's something that I'm struggling with now is because it's hard to know that things like infant loss and SIDS happen without any effect from you. He's gone. So that's one of the things that I'm really struggling with, the fact that I could do everything in my power to make sure she's okay, and then I have her, and then for her to still not be okay. And one of the big things that I realized is that is what it is to be a mom. I saw some stupid commercial the other day, and the woman's like watching her kid out of the window. Um, I think he's like playing in the grass or something, and you think when you don't have any children or you haven't had the possibility of having children, meaning you haven't been pregnant yet and you haven't felt that bond, you think that a lot of parents, not helicopter parents, but just regular parents, are crazy when they're like, "Oh, don't do this or don't do that," or when you think about them being like, "Oh, don't touch that, it's hot," and you're like, "Kids need to learn," but you don't realize that it's like it's instinctual. First of all, second of all, it's just it's us. It's our bond. I was so attached to Iris. I really loved her. After I had her and had her in my arms and she was breathing, I just couldn't think that I was going to go home without her, even though she was so early and even though she was so tiny. She was so tiny. And I just remember feeling, this is my child. I need to save her. And although there was nothing I could do, it was that instant feeling of, is this it? Is this what it's going to be like? Am I going to just have the babies to lose them? I don't get it, And so those are just some of the thoughts that I've been thinking. Those are some of the issues that I've been dealing with just on my own on a personal level. Um, so I just wanted to share that with you guys because a lot of women, and in planning to write the book that I'm writing, and I did put it off for a little bit just to see how this pregnancy goes so that I can include it. In writing the book, Still a Mom, I've talked to women who've had so many issues or have had all these issues with pregnancy and who've, or had their babies and lost their babies, etc. You know, I don't know why, and I know some of it's because we just feel so ashamed, but a lot of women feel like we don't feel the way other people feel. A lot of women are like, I didn't know that anyone felt this way, or I didn't know anyone had these thoughts. I didn't know anyone was going down this specific path because, yes, all of our paths are tailored to us. I don't know, and I haven't met anyone who has been on my specific path and who's had my specific background, which would make me have my feelings towards what's going on. I haven't met anyone like that. So, of course, during my first miscarriage, I was very alone. And I also, at the time, hadn't met anyone who had a miscarriage so early. And so for me, it was like, am I even allowed to feel this way? Or am I allowed to be this upset, et cetera, et cetera? And so for me, a big deal is just to express, to say what I feel and to say what I'm thinking because you're not alone, and neither am I. There are so many women that feel the same thing and that can help you, even if they don't know it. A lot of them feel like, what can I do? I'm still dealing with my losses, I'm still dealing with my pain. Well, so am I. I came across a post the other day where a woman was basically getting bullied online by private in a message. But she basically had this woman that was like, why are you always bringing your dead baby up? Like, why are you always he's been gone for like a year. Why do you want everyone to still feel sorry for you, etc. And that angered me so much because you don't get it if you haven't been through it. Iris has been gone now for almost a year. She was born last May and she died last May. And every now and then I still feel like, what the hell happened? You know? Every now and then I still get those emotions of, man, she'd almost be a year old right now. She would almost be a human. Like she'd be talking and she'd be doing her little weird dances. You know, when the babies are all like she'd be doing that. She'd be doing all kind of stuff. She'd be acting all kind of weird things out, and you know, mimicking people and sponges and all that weird nonsense. That is what I think about all the time. It's not necessarily the big stuff. Oh, I don't get to see her graduate or get married. What kills me is the stuff that's now and the here. When I see little babies that are at the job and their moms are there and they're shopping and they've got their cute little outfits on, it kills me. It's been almost a year. It's When you think about it, it's been almost 3 years since my first loss with my first baby, and she'd be she'd be almost 3 years old, almost. And that still kills me. That is stuff that I still think about. Yes, maybe I don't weep daily like I did after the loss. Maybe I don't spend long periods of time, just in constant ponderment of what happened, but I still think about it and it still hurts. And to tell someone, hey, stop trying to make people feel sorry for you, or hey, that was a long time ago, get over it. It's hard, and that's not right. It's not fair. And I just want people to know that you have to do what's best for you. And hey, I'm sorry if your grieving takes a long time. It does. Because once you heal and you're actually healed, you will feel so much better. You'll be able to take on so much. You'll be able to deal with so much of the world. You'll be able to go on with that next pregnancy. You'll be able to deal with things without thinking about the baby all the time. But if you let someone stunt your healing, if you let someone stunt your growth, that is not going to do anything. First of all, it's going to cause a rift between you and that person. Second of all, when are you going to deal with it? 2 years down the road, when you still find yourself crying, when you still find yourself weeping about the same thing, but you haven't grown any? 4 years when you find out you're pregnant again, but you're not sure if you want it because of how traumatic the first time was, and then you decide, you know what, I just can't handle this, and then what do? I just want people to realize that we grieve in different ways. And sometimes people are insensitive, and you have to realize that. Take a step back and just focus on you. Focus on you and your healing. All right. Bye.